Start your business for the freedom of time. Now you're tired of the hustle and grind. There's gotta be a better way. It's time to listen to Chill and Prosper. Welcome to Chill and Prosper. You're ready to chill and prosper with Denise Duffield-Thomas.
Hey gorgeous, it's Denise Duffield-Thomas here. Welcome to another episode of Chill and Prosper. And this week I'm taking questions. And of course, if you ever have a question that you want me to answer on the podcast, send it in. You can email it to info@denisedt.com. Let us know your social handle so we can tag you when we answer it. But yeah, ask me anything, as always. Okay, so this one comes from Darlene, and I love this question. So I'm curious to hear what daily rituals you have to calm the voices in your head about why you can't have something or why life can't be great. I've had a few up-leveling periods in the last year, and while consciously I'm trying to be present and enjoy and appreciate my life, there's a voice in the background bringing up possible catastrophes that are just around the corner. Well, I relate to that question very hard, Darlene, so thank you for asking it. And I think I really want to start there in that no one's perfect with their money mindset. No one ever is positive all the time. We are humans. We have fears, we have insecurities, and there's never a time I think that you're going to be perfect with this. And me especially, and this is why I love doing the work, but also being a student. And every month on our Money Bootcamp calls, I always get something new out of the calls because I come to them from a place of curiosity and what else can we learn about ourselves? But the underlying thing that I think is so important is to practice self-love and compassion as much as we can. Because I do think this is the key to so many things. When we love and approve of ourselves, it can't be all the time. It's never going to be all the time. That kind of does crowd out the bad stuff as much as we can, right? It does crowd it out. So when I'm feeling down, when I'm feeling bad about myself, I might do a little bit of EFT, tapping. So EFT, if you don't know it, it's called Emotional Freedom Technique. There are a lot of people who teach it. Anyone can learn it. You don't need to have a certificate. The person who invented it, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, wanted to give it to the masses, right? And it's a form of self-acupressure where you say a bad thing out loud and you finish it with, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. So it could be, even though I feel like a fraud, even though I have imposter syndrome, even though nothing's going right for me, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Now, if you're new to tapping, you might think, why would I say the bad thing out loud, Denise? Why would I want to manifest that? And it's not. It's just acknowledging that feeling that you probably already have inside you that so many of us humans have of I'm not good enough, I'm not lovable, I'm not perfect, I'm not worthy. And so the more that we can articulate those things, the less hold they have on us. And there's other science behind it, which I never remember because I have ADHD, but athletes use it. A lot of people use it to redirect their focus, but also there is some science around how it works in your body, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes though, I think it's the acknowledgement is the first point of this is how I'm feeling, because we just squash it in and it still lives in us and it still creates chaos in our life. So we can say it. Oh my God, I didn't die. I said it out loud. And then the key is I deeply and completely love and accept myself. And it's that compassion of going, I'm not perfect, I'm human. Because we have so much compassion for other people's humanity, but somehow not for ourselves. And a great example of this is a couple of years ago, I had a bit of a little mentee bee, as the kids say it, and I needed some medication to help me get through that horrible period. And I remember thinking, I would never judge anyone else for taking medication, but it's not okay for me. I should be, stronger than that, or something. It's not okay for me to do it. And the same applies to compassion for ourselves and why we're not allowed to have things. we think we're the only ones who think that we're unworthy and horrible and undeserving. No, it's a human condition. So we have to work on this all the time because we live in the real world, right? So EFT is a big one for me. I used to do it, I would say I used to do it every day because I did it more with the kids at night. I've gotten out of that habit a little bit. And so now I just kind of do it, a bit randomly. But because I have that monthly call with boot campers, I always do it at least once a month, a really big session. And then I also have a private session with a kinesiologist to make sure that I'm just always a little bit on track with things. And I think that's another key is support, is when you're by yourself, it's easy to get caught up in the voices in your head. And I think this is why quite a few of us, when global lockdowns were happening, a few of us went a little bit cuckoo, myself included, because we felt very isolated. And I felt like I couldn't voice some of the fears that I had around that time. And I was like air stewardess saying to everyone, it's okay, everything's fine, it's just a little bit of turbulence, everything's going to be okay. And because I wasn't actually then leaning on my community for support and voicing my fears, I just crumbled into a ball because I felt like I'm not allowed, I have to be the strong one, I'm not allowed. And so having support and having people outside of yourself, doesn't have to be in person necessarily, online friends are real friends, but do you have a community of peers? Do you have community that is related to a particular life stage you're at? For example, if you're a parent, do you have people that you can go to for parenting advice? Do you have a mum's group? Do you have like a community that's not about work and business? Do you have a friend that you can just vent to about things? Do you have a partner who will listen to you? Do you have a therapist? Do you have a business coach? All of these people can help you get perspective on the voices in your head. And sometimes they give you perspective by giving you examples. Like if you're in a community of entrepreneurs and you're hearing, oh, the economy's so bad, no one's buying, but you're in a community where people are like, I've just had my best month ever. It does quieten that voice because you go, well, maybe I can have my best month ever. Maybe that's okay too. So those things are really important, to have examples, to have feedback, to have a sounding board. And I think remember being in a stage of my life where I had a lot of clients, but I wasn't necessarily getting a lot of support myself. And so I felt really guilty taking up space. And I remember going to a therapy session and, she'd be like, how are you? And I'd be like, great, how are you? And I was like having to feel like I had to be like the perfect client, or I had to hold space for her. It was so weird. And I felt guilty talking about myself because I was like, as a coach, you taught, don't make it about yourself. How do you feel about that? And so it's not like I was trying to coach her, but I felt guilty taking up space. Okay, so that's a problem too if you're trying to do everything yourself and you don't have community. So people then ask me, how do you get community? Well, you can buy into communities. You can get access to people's communities through, joining their mastermind. For me, joining my Money Bootcamp community. That's how you get access to it. Going to conferences, joining a mum's group. For me, joining ballet, having something outside of business where I don't have to be Denise, the guru. I can just be another ballet student. Those things are really important. Making sure that you have friends who listen to you and don't just talk. And having that space. That's another thing that I do, is to have that. And then I really try, I'm not perfect to this, I really try and watch what comes into my awareness. So trying not to solve all the problems of the world, trying not to just listen to doom and gloom stuff. I'm someone, I like to be knowledgeable about what's happening in the world, but there's been times where I've listened to too many podcasts and I just hyper focus on that, and I need to go back and go, oh no, I need to listen to positive things as well, and I need to make sure I'm going to the movies and I'm not just trying to be too hyper vigilant on the news, for example. That calms the voices in my head too, right? And then I think everyone has got their little rituals about what helps them. So it could be like listening to music, you like going to the beach, you like going out into nature. For me, ballet. So I started adult ballet about 2 years ago. Now I do 7 classes a week. I do 2 in a row usually on like 3 days. And so it doesn't matter what's going on in my world. If I go to ballet and the music starts, I cannot think of anything else. I'm just there, I'm doing my exercise, I'm doing ballet. And sometimes entrepreneurs, sometimes women, we think we don't have time for that. I've got to work on my business. Those things make you better at your business. Those things will make you more present in other areas of your life. I find too that if I'm getting a bit stale and stagnant with things, I need to go out and get new experiences and to help me see different perspectives on things. Okay, so watch your self-talk, and you can crowd that out by being mindful about what comes in. Like what podcasts are you listening to? What books are you reading? Who are you hanging around with? And I actually really like to replace bad thoughts with affirmations. I think affirmations can be really powerful. So I serve, I deserve. I serve, I deserve. Why not me? It's my time and I'm ready for the next step. They're all great ways that you can kind of act as a pattern interrupter. Okay. So I think too, the last thing on that I want to say is I've had a few up-leveling periods in the last year. Now, thinking about possible catastrophes, I think there's something there about it's not allowed to be too good, or something bad's going to happen to balance that out. And sometimes when we've had up-leveling periods, we've really got to take stock again and go, okay, what's my new normal in this? And how can I ground this in so it's not a temporary kind of up-leveling and I go back? And we can consciously do that, even literally thinking about, I'm grounding this in, I'm putting roots into the ground, and this is my new normal. This is my new normal. And then watch those thoughts in your head of like, oh, now something bad's going to happen. Something bad's going to happen. I actually like to play those out sometimes and go, what's the worst that could happen here? And go, well, if I keep on growing, then I'm not going to have any friends. It's not realistic to keep on growing. Oh, I've had my success now. Now I have to share. So it's always new level, old devil. Often I heard David Nagel say this years ago, new level, new devil. And I was like, yes, that's true. But sometimes it's our old devils. And so every time I've up leveled to a new period of success, my old devils come in but no one's going to like me anymore. Now I'm really a tall poppy. Oh, no. And then I overcome that and I grow a bit more, and then I go, but no one's going to like me now. And it's never been true, but that's my old devil, that people aren't going to like me if I'm too successful. So it's an ongoing process, and I'm glad that you asked that question. And I want you to be gentle and kind to yourself, Darlene. And it's my time, and I'm ready for the next step. You're allowed to grow and change, even beyond what you thought was possible. Okay, let's take a quick break, and then I've got some more juicy questions to answer straight after this short break. See you in a sec. It's your time, and you're ready for the next step. It's your time, and you're ready for the next step. It's your time, and you're totally ready for the next step. So many times we are waiting for the perfect moment, for all of the green lights, or for someone else to tap us on the shoulder and say, you're ready. But it has to come from inside you, and you can declare yourself ready now. Put your hand on your heart and try it with me. It's my time, and I'm ready for the next step. If you know deep in your heart, even if you're scared, that you're ready to let go of some of your money fears and finally profit from your skills and talents, it's time to get to work. Your next step is to come and join us in Money Bootcamp. You can work with me as your money mindset mentor and join our beautiful community so you can really give yourself permission to make money and change the world. Click below to find out more, but don't wait any longer. Come and join us today. We're ready for you, and it's your time, and you're ready for the next step. Okay, welcome back. So the next question is from Monica Lopez. She is owner and CEO at One Bilingual Teacher. I love it. I'd love to learn languages. It's been really hard for me to do it, but maybe you can give me some tips. So I love this question because I read it and I went, yes. Okay, how do you deal with resistance to a calling? I feel a strong calling, but when I sit down to do the work, I go blank or I avoid it by doing other things around the house. Please help. Now, the reason why I'm laughing is because I've had that experience myself. So I've always wanted to be in business, always tried lots of different businesses. And it wasn't until I started doing life coaching that I felt like, I'm in the right industry, right? I'm here. And I resisted that for a long time, but that's not the true one, right? And I resisted that one because I thought people are going to think I'm another life coach. What a wanker. Only losers want life coaches. They're the things that I sort of heard. And I resisted becoming a life coach and getting my qualifications for so long. I thought it was so wanky. But then I started doing that. And then I was like, yes, I think I want to just coach entrepreneurs. And I felt kind of a bit bad about that, but I couldn't resist that, going, am I allowed just to talk about business? Because anyone who came in who was in a corporate world, I'd be like, why are you just start your own business? Because that's just who I am, right? And I really loved working with women who had some sort of business. So I started to refining that. Then I started to feel the real strong calling. And I did not like it. So I started to feel it. And it was different from I want to be a life coach. I think I have that. It was just a different thing. And I started feeling it. I don't know how to explain it, but maybe Monica, you do know what that feeling is. And I was like, I really want to talk about money. I really, really want to talk about money, but I'm not allowed to. I'm not allowed to talk about money. What happens if you talk about money? Maybe you need to go back to university. Maybe you need to get a degree. You're not allowed to talk about money. Who do you think you are to talk about money, Denise? You're not allowed to talk about money. You're only allowed to talk about money if you're perfect with money. You're only allowed to talk about money if you're like Susie Orman and you're a financial advisor. I think you should go back to university. And it was a different imposter syndrome than just being a coach, because I still had a similar thing around being a coach. It was like, that's going to be a wank. And then I thought, maybe I need to go get elocution lessons because people aren't going to understand my accent. Maybe I need to lose weight. And then it was different. This money calling felt really real. It felt really personal, and it really felt like an internal calling. And I was like, nope. And then what happens is people will start to just little knocks, going, hey, do you want to talk about this? Or, hey, I'd love you to talk about this. And I was like, no. And I just couldn't resist it any longer. So here's what I did, and this might help. I was like, okay, universe, I will talk about money. I will, but you have to make this really easy for me. I was like, you bring me the clients. And it was like a bit of a bargain for the universe. I was like, no. And let me tell you, similar thing happened to me in the last year, because I've pretty much taken the last 18 months, when I say off, not completely off, but just not striving for big goals, not doing anything new, not doing any launches, haven't had any videos or photos or anything like that for 18 months. And recently I started getting all these feelings again of it's time to go back to work. And I had a couple of angel readings with people that were pre-recorded, and two people literally were like, you need to go back to work. And one of them was a lady. She was like, okay, Angel Metatron is saying you need to go back to work. And so I did the same thing. I went, okay, Metatron, I'm ready to go back to work, but you need to do these, and these for me as well. You need to meet me halfway. And so you can literally, I know it sounds really woo-woo and silly, but just try that, and to go, okay, I really have this calling, and here are some things that would make this easier for me, universe, right? And for me, I was like, I only want to attract nice people. I don't want any trolls and haters, and I want to do it on my terms. So I just kind of wrote those things down, and I was like, and this is where my whole contributor, not a guru thing came in, because I was like, hey, universe, I'm never going to be Susie Orman. I'm not going to go back to uni and do a financial degree. So I am going to focus on money mindset. I'm going to stay in my lane, and I'm going to contribute to this conversation. I'm going to put myself off the hook that I have to do it perfectly. I have to be the guru. I have to do it like no one else has done it before. And I'm going to give myself permission just to teach what I know, and be open and curious, and ask questions, and never set myself up as the guru. And you know what? It's been so interesting. I've hardly had any trolls and haters. I've attracted the nicest people, and people believe me. And I've always been really honest about, I'm not a financial advisor. I can't give you financial advice, but this is what I can talk about. And I feel like going through that process really helped get it straight in my mind of, like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it on my terms. Okay. Hope that helps, right? So yeah, literally like ask an angel for help. I was like, Metatron, I'll go back to work. I need you to help me with clean up these 2 things, and I'll do it. And then things have happened, right? Yeah. Ask people for help. And also you can start to be like, hey guys, would you like, I'm curious, I'm thinking about talking about more about this. And you can kind of just start to bring it into your community. You can practice it. If it's a calling that's completely different to what you're doing right now, go practice it. Go see if you can shadow someone. Go get work experience. Go and like experience like what it would be like to experience that thing. You know, go to a conference that you normally wouldn't go to. Set out an inquiry. Like if it's something where you go, oh, I don't know if I want to commit to a 3-year degree to learn that thing. Well, go to a 1-day course. Go to a retreat. Ask someone for a one-off session. You know, do a VIP day with someone in that industry. And give yourself permission to do it in your way and see what blocks come up. And I think the more aware you can be of going, I can't do it because someone else is already doing it, or I can't do it, they'll be upset, that person's not going to like it, I've invested so much in this area. And I remember when I shifted my business, which I have a few times, but I was like, what a waste. I've created a website for that business. And then I was like, yeah, but what I learned from doing webinars, from doing videos, from creating a course handout, from writing a sales page, it doesn't matter what area I go into, I can use that. It's not wasted. And so sometimes we don't want to shift into a different area because we feel like it's that sunk cost fallacy of going, I've sunk money into it, so I have to do it. Or people are not going to like this next version of me. And you know what? Spoiler alert, some people won't come on the journey with you. Some people won't be your customers. Some people will. And that's okay. So without knowing what that next calling is, it's okay. But it's always good. Okay, the little thing I got was like, oh, she wants to be on TV, or she wants to be in a TV show. And I don't know if that is true, but it's like one of those things of going, who am I to want that? Who am I to want that? You know, or that opportunity's passed me by, or see what your mind's saying. I'm too old, or I'm not ready, or I need to lose weight first. Whatever those things are for you, you like, why not you? Why not you? People have done things at all different ages. Why not you? And sometimes we have to go into the next version of ourselves, almost with a little bit of delusion. Yeah, almost with just a little bit of like delulu, as the kids say, a bit delulu about it, and just go, I'm just going to pretend that why not me, and just go forward a little bit and see why not me, why not me. Yes, okay. And so then if you go blank and avoid it, just like do a baby step. And just even claim it for yourself that that's what you want to do. And, you know, you could make up a little business card. One of the things that I did when I wanted to be an author is I wrote author in my email bio, like Denise Duffield-Thomas, author. And like people would have seen it and gone, okay, whatever. It changed the perception of myself. And I saw that every day, and I was like, I'm an author. I changed my mum's name. It's probably still in there to this day. This is like 13 years later, 14 years later. I changed my mum's contact name in my phone as Mum, proud of her author daughter. So every time she called me, it came up and I was like, I'm an author. And the repetition of that made me believe that it was possible for myself. Isn't that so funny? Tiny little thing like that. So you could get like a little business card, put it on your bio, act as if, practice, act as if. Yes, I love that so much.
The Lucky Bee community has by far exceeded my expectations. I am overjoyed to be in a space where it's acceptable to have high standards and to love things being done well. That was a big win. Since joining boot camp, I have spent 3.5 months with my mom and stepdad, helping them on their organic and biodynamic vineyard degrees. I got engaged. I'm currently planning my first class wedding with my now fiance. I am creating a whole new structure for my business, which I'm very excited about, and doing the work in boot camp has given me the tools and the space mentally and the support in the community to take this time out for myself to redo things in a way that are more sustainable and honor my needs. I have a chronic illness that is not going to go away, and I really have to rearrange my life for. I've organized and edited so many areas of my house, and continuously every day I have this mindset of, as I move through the day, every single part of it, I'm like, what can I up level? What's working? What's not working? And I just love having this space where everything I do, I can make a post and I'm celebrated for it. And it feels really, really good. You know, I think we all need spaces where we can be celebrated and where there's free from drama and negativity and being sold to and told what to do, and where you're just supported to do what's right for you and celebrated for it. And that's what I found in the Money Bootcamp.
Start your business for the freedom of time. Now you're tired of the hustle and grind. There's gotta be a better way. It's time to listen to Chill and Prosper. Welcome to Chill and Prosper. You're ready to chill and prosper with Denise Duffield-Thomas.